from Lashkia Runes, you can go pretty much straight west. Uh, if the game doesn't want to be weird for a second. A guy on a horse, he's there every time. Like, on one hand he's moving, on the other hand he's there every time. I'm not entirely sure how that works out, but it does. But you want to stay slightly left of him, and you'll come across this little cave. The Lakeside Crystal Cave. And this is pretty important for a side quest. It's not the most important, and I mean, it's entirely for an optional area. Entirely. You can easily skip it. And I know a few people who do. Because the area is not super fun. I should have come here with like a hand lantern or something. Because it's dark. But you just beat all the shell magic slug things. Snails, not slugs. There's a difference. Slugs don't have shells. Why do I know that? I don't know. But you can pretty easily just go down. And if you just keep going down and not dying, you'll reach here, which is a fun little place. They said sarcastically. Because Bloodhound Knights are fast. Yeah, I may be a little over-leveled for this. I mean, Teal Goose isn't. They're still just +1. Poor guy. He's just trying to be upgraded. But he's not getting it. He doesn't need it right now. He just needed him to be a bit of a distraction. But you beat them, you get Cerulean Amber Medallion, which gives you slightly more FP. I think it's percentage based. Also, Lutena. So the thing with them is they use bows because their legs don't work, and so using melee would be kind of hard. And they ride wolves. Why there's an entire like race of people who have legs but don't have use of their legs? I don't know. One of the many things that are not explained in this world.
Foul tarnished. What do you want?
Cheese.
I told the all-hearing brute that I possess no such medallion. Or have you come to take more from me? Was my other half not enough?
Is there a cheese medallion? Actually, I don't want it, never mind. But in the village of the Albinorics, with old Albus, the guy who's like hiding as a pot that we roll into, he gives you the medallion, and you're supposed to go back to the Round Table Hold. Ensha invades you to try to get it for themselves. And Gideon is like, whoops, sorry. As repayment for that, little shenanigans that he pulled, I'll give you some knowledge on where this person is, and then he gives you a general hint on, or he gives you a hint on the general direction of where to find Latenna, and then you bring her Albus's medallion.
So, then I've no choice. Let's try. My apology. I hope that.
And
Won't
we
you
can.
I must go, but there is something. Will you show me if you accept of the word? Thank you, kind. They say in castles.
We can skip all of that.
Farewell. I will go with. Forgive me.
So, I don't think you actually need to do this to get to that side area.
Call upon me when needed, and I will fight at your side.
I think it's just to get her ash, and then to get a little bit of dialogue, and then all the way at the end of the game, basically, at like the very edge of the consecrated snowfield, which is like over halfway through Mountaintops of the Giants as a side area. If you find one little church, then she'll be like, here's a somber ancient dragon smithing stone or whatever she gives you. It's just some upgrade material. But I think I'm gonna go do the other way through, or like the other way to get to Altus Plateau. Because getting there are two ways to get to the Altus Plateau, and me and the game have very different outlooks on this, and I'm curious what you think about it. So, hello. So, according to the game, there's a finger reader that tells you this. You can go and get the two halves of the Deckness Medallion, which we've already done, and that lets you take the Grand Lift, which, according to this finger reader, is like the honorable way. It's the right way. It's the way of the brave person. Or you can be the coward and take the ravine. And when I heard that for the first time, I bust out laughing because for me it's the exact opposite. Because to go through the ravine, oh, that proc frostbite in a single hit, nice. But for me, going through the ravine is more like the warrior way, because you have to go through all these enemies and you have to kill this dragon boss. Hi. Whereas taking the Grand Lift, I see as the coward's way. I usually do both. Just for the variety. And also so I can get to Altus Plateau without needing to go through here. So that way I can get high level things at a lower level. But it's like, I see the Grand Lift as the coward's way, because you're not fighting through the enemies. You're not fighting this dragon boss. You're shying away from the fight. And that's why I take it as the cowardly way. But I'm curious to know what you think. Now here, no, I don't have it. I don't have the monocular. But there are these little spiked balls you can see them just above my rune count. And if you step on them, they like splurt out poison. Whoosh! Oh, I got both again, nice. Yeah, it does that. If you damage them, break them, or step on them, they sploosh out poison like that. And there's also some here, so you have to go around the right side. But I don't know. I feel like the developers and I disagree with a lot of things about this game. And I think that's shown really well in how you get to here, or how you get to Altus Plateau, because of how they say that avoiding the fight is the honorable way. Which, I don't know, something about that just seems off to me. It's like, yeah, in the real world, violence should be a last resort. You shouldn't really initiate it. But this is a very much not real world. Tis the video game world. Beautiful. Can I one-shot just by tapping it? I can! Good. Good to know. Yeah, it's like, in order to become Elden Lord, you need to throw some hands. You need to get into some fights. I didn't want that to go that far. Maybe I can hit you through the wall? I can! And poof. So there are those guys hiding. And I destroyed them, but there are some poison balls there. And there are some little green rocks here that you can walk across for safety. Which is nice. That's an example of, like, environmental dangers done right. Where there's a danger where you can get poisoned. And you're probably gonna get poisoned once or twice. And then you figure out, oh, it's these little spiked balls on the ground. I should probably avoid those. And then your awareness allows you to avoid the danger. Same thing with that. I think that's done well. Now, those two giant statues lead up to the Grand Lift. And so you can look at it and be like, that's the alternative option. I don't think one option is inherently better. That's fine. But I don't think one option is always better than the other. And if you only take the medallion route, or only take the Grand Lift route, it's like, I don't look down upon you, I don't look up upon you. It's just like, yeah, that's the option you want to take, okay. And same thing with this path. It's like, if you take this path every time, I don't think you're better, I don't think you're worse. It's just, what do you want to do that run? What's your playstyle? People have different playstyles. People have, like, different requirements for different runs. And I think it's fine. I'm more happy just that there are options. That's like, yeah, you can go and take a fight by going up this precipice. Or you can get through without any bloodshed by taking the Grand Lift. That's your decision, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter that much, because it's just a way to get from Liurnia to Althus. So it's like, whether you want to take the lift or the ravine, either way you're getting to the same place. But you got that variety. Can I hit you? Oh, that's a one-shot. I was gonna say, I see you flapping your wings. Can I hit you from way over here? Boom. Alright. Yeah, so those ones... the, like, gray albino ones... whatever you want to call them. Hi. They have more health. They tend to sing. They got the jiggle physics. They can, like, throw poison out of their feet. It's not moving, it's weird. But it's like, on one hand, when you're new, you hear the singing, and you're like, oh, that's kind of nice. Maybe a little weird, but the singing is nice. But then you figure out what the singing is, and you go, oh, that's a dangerous. It's rude. Oh, but you're going all over the place, aren't you? Calm down, bud. But then you figure out that's like, oh, it's these stronger bats that are doing the singing. And then you kind of fear it. But then you get used to fighting, you get used to the combat. And then it becomes nice again. Like, yeah, they're still much more of a threat than normal bats. I like that part a lot. But outside of the ones in Fort Faroth, which can one-shot you, even at like level 70, with decent armor, outside of that, like outside of specifically those ones, they're mostly fine. Oh, aye. You were very excited there. Bonk. Oh, the frostbite proc. You'll love to see it. Serpent God's Curved Sword. I think that gives you a bit of health back every time you kill an enemy when you're holding it, which is nice. I like having weapons that, not all weapons, but an occasional weapon here and there that give you just a little extra something. Now, oof. Ow. Hi. That was a little rude. That was rude. You guys are not very nice. Also, they have a few other things. Oh, I didn't think I was gonna hit you. I thought that was just a wasted spell. It's okay, man. He's dead. Wow. I thought they were gonna die in like 2 hits, because they're only +1. And at this point you can get the normal basic ashes to like +3 or 4. And you can get the special ashes to like +7. Apparently you don't even need that. Apparently you don't even need the +3 or 4. You can stop singing. I probably shouldn't have leveled up. Hold on, do I have any 5s? I don't. Interesting. Let me see. Okay, Grey Waterfall Crest. So we had a few options there. I don't think we can... Like, we don't have enough money to
Greet, are you here for...
get Hughes all the way to like +7 or 8 or 9. Alright, but we had enough to get him to +4. Honestly, that's all we need right now. That is all we need right now. Hopefully. So we can go here, fight this guy. Right. Millicent. Yeah, she only has 1 arm. No matter what, you get this guy. If you bought the boiled prawn off of Blackguard, you can summon him. If you went through enough of Millicent's quest, you can get her. I think we'll just go with 1. Battlemage, of course. This man is a giant. He's a Goliath compared to me. No. Magma Worm Makar. Okay. Magma Worms always like to start off a fight by doing that run attack like 3 to 5 times, and it leaves lava everywhere. For once, he did not use that. So now we can just start throwing cannons at him. How do you like cannons? Yep, running again. He's running. Yeah, he's running again. Yeah, if you touch them at all, that comes out faster than you might think. But even if you touch, like, their tail, you'll still take full damage. So, the hitbox is a little weird. And so, usually better to just avoid that. Militant is already dead. Honestly, might be better to just use Great Glintstone Shard. Yeah, like, it's got a low FP cost and does decent damage. Oh, I thought you were gonna go for it. Oh, that's a new move. I've never seen that before. Neat. That is also a new move. I've never seen that before. You're really whipping out. Oh, I don't think I've ever seen that before either. How many other new moves do you got? Actually, I don't think I've ever seen you get up on 2 legs for more than a few seconds. So, interesting to see this development. Okay. Pop. Didn't go as well as expected, but I thought I was gonna do better performance-wise, but worse stat-wise. Huh. So those little skulls that give you golden rune ones, they like fall out of the sky. It's really funny to see in real time. Like, you'll just be walking around the land and a just little glowy skull fall out of the aether. But yeah, I guess it fell all the way down there. That's neat. Now, do-do-do-do, out this plateau. Jump. There are a few things here. I think I'm just going to get one because it relates to what we just did. And then we can do the rest another time. I mean, or we can do the rest now. But Ruler's Robe, that's something that, or that's the chest piece that Kenneth Haight wears, but he doesn't wear the mask. That's the, so the one dragon that I said don't kill because it just dips out halfway through, that's the other dragon. You don't get the reward for it, which kind of sucks. But here, Millicent.
Ah, in truth, it's been smooth sailing for me. The Scarlet Rock as such, though rather vexingly, I realized that if I still had my sword arm, I could have aided you in battle.
You did. You did aid me in battle. Yeah, you died, but you aided me in battle. I don't understand why she says this. It's like when you go when you go do the Radon Festival, if you talk to Blythe, he's like, we missed our meeting. Down in the Siafra River. And it's like, I don't know what you're talking about. We met up. We talked. You told me to go see Sylvis, which then he told me to go see Cylon, and that's what triggered the Radon Festival. So yeah, we did meet. But he still says that we missed our meeting. And it's the same thing with Millicent. It's like she aided you in battle, but then she says, I could have aided you in battle if I had my arm. And, like, you did. Part of me wants to say that this game was slightly too ambitious for the developers. And maybe they painted slightly too broad of a scope. And so they were running out of time, running out of resources. But it's like, this is the beginning of Altus Plateau, the third major area. I count Caelid as the fourth. Because Caelid, like, I don't know about other people, but for me, Caelid is harder than Altus Plateau. And so I consider Caelid to be the fourth area because it's harder. But even if you count Altus Plateau as the fourth area, okay, it's the very beginning of the fourth area out of 5. You'd think that they'd have time enough for a little bit of dialogue. Like, just a few alternative lines for if she did aid you. And same thing with Blythe. It's like, they could have had alternative lines for if you did meet up in Nokron. Or Siafra River.
Now, after I should like... I think she's in the land. Now she's passed.
But yeah, just like Latenna, she's looking to get to the same place of Miklad's Halig Tree. But if you take that path instead of the Grand Lift, then Raya will be here to teleport you to Volcano Manor. We're 33 minutes in. Yeah, we can do this. We can do Deep Root Depths next time. But it was either 1 or 2 videos ago. I think the last one, when I mentioned some enemies are borderline blind. You can walk straight up to them and they will not see you. And then there are some enemies where even if you have a talisman that makes your movement silent, and you're crouching and you're far away, they will still, like, instantly turn around and spot you. And I said that there was another enemy like that, and I'd point them out when we got to them. No. That's the enemy. If you get within a certain radius of them... Hi. Not losing stamina, so they're not fully aggroed onto me. But, come back here. Are you scared to fight me? What's going on here? Alright, I can just cannon you from a distance. But if you look, we didn't get that guy's attention. If you look, he's still just standing there. He has yet to turn our way. We are crouching, sneaking, going ever so gently, not making a peep. And boom, he immediately turns around. He usually comes sprinting at me the second he turns around. Ow, that's fast. Get gavelled. Get gavelled. Yeah. I wish it wasn't like this. I wish that instead of most enemies being completely blind and some having Superman sense, I wish it was just like a constant even. And it's like, that'll probably make the game harder. And yeah, it will. But I would rather have consistency than ease. But yeah, killing them gets you the Omen Killer set, except for the mask. And the weapons. Which they dual wield weapons. Kinda neat. You get the mask in Landell. There's another one of them that drops the mask. And off in... Well, there's a cave in Altus Plateau where you can go and kill the boss and get one of the weapons, and then there are two... Yeah, there are two in Volcano Manor. Now, this is an area that you usually ignore, but it does have something very good. We're not going to use it, because it would go against the Battlemage. Run. This gavel is really, really good. Like, I don't want to over-rely on it, which is why I've been using the cannon a bit. But, man, like, the gavel is so good. It's like, as I've used the cannon, I realized, yeah, it's got something decent to it. Like, it's got a big explosion, that's nice. Oh, that is not the enemy I was going after. I wanted to get that enemy. Huh. That's on me. Oh, he knew. He knew that I was gonna try to gavel him. Eh. Bonk. Right, there we go. Tried to get the critical on him, but I had the torch out. That's why it's important to get the hand lantern. There are two. One at the very bottom of Weeping Peninsula, and one at the beginning of Lernia. And so, you got opportunities to get it. I just didn't. Dragon Wound. I don't know what Dragon Wound even means. It's like, does more damage to dragons, sure, but what's it made out of? But raptor talons, they're a claw, they look kind of cool. But raptor's black feathers. That's what we came here for. Just because they're nice. There are also two bosses here. Can I jump that? I can. Cool. Good to know. Yeah, there are two bosses here. Don't care for either of them. We just came to be like, hey, look at this neat little cape. Because it gives you extra jump attack damage. Also looks kind of cool. Because fashion almost always goes above defense in this series. Which, I mean, it should. Now... So, from here... Which is, like... Not really the main area, because Altus Plateau doesn't have a main area. But from where Box spawns... You can go off to the right, and I think there's a boss here that I ignore. You can go down the center, and there are two tree sentinels, and then some goodies. Or you can go off this left path, and at the end there's a cave. Hello, Buck. And that cave is where you get one of the Omen killer weapons. But you do want to be a little careful, because there is a colossal bear. I know they have an actual name. I think it's like rune bears or something. But in Dark Souls, there was a certain weapon class called Ultra Great Swords. In this game, they were changed to being called Colossal Swords. And then there's also Colossal Weapons. And so, Colossal Bears. We're sticking to it. But yeah, off in this smooth mushroom thing. Perfumer's Grotto. I'm not 100% sure why it's called a grotto, because generally caves are called one of four things: either cave, tunnel, catacomb, or hero grave. And they're all distinct and have their own thing that they do. But then there's very occasionally one that just has like a different name. And it still fits into one of the four categories, but it just has a different name. for some reason. This. Now, if you want to be a madman and try killing this thing, they're actually not super difficult. Like, they are certainly on the harder end of things, but they're certainly not an insurmountable task. But you can get a golden seed from killing those things. Which Altus Plateau has a lot of golden seeds. Probably, like, I don't know if it has the most of any area, but from here you can go up here and there's one, like, right around here. There's one, like, over here. There's one over here. There are two here. There are two here. There's one here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's one over here, so that'd be 9. And that's just off the top of my head. There might be more. Now, you could argue that there are more because the more golden seeds you get, the more you require to further upgrade your flask. Like, the first 2 upgrades cost 1, and then the next 2 cost 2, and then the next 2 cost 3, and then 4, and then 5. And so, this is the point in the game where you start needing, like, 3s and 4s. And, like, yeah, sure, but remember, you can come here without killing a single boss. You can simply spawn in, go to gate front to get your horse, go over to Fort Height. You don't even need to kill the knight, you just need to go up the ladder to get the half the Deckness medallion. Go over to Fort Faroth, get the other half, and then take the Grand Lift. And, like, there's Margit and Godric here, but you can go around the side. So, you can get here and get all of these different golden seeds without killing a single boss. I did it on one run.
Words, if you will, I declare through under those bliss my comrade.
Yeah. So, if you actually listen to what she says, basically, it's just America is God, and there's the Golden Order, which worships her as God. And America went to her followers and went, hey, maybe we should learn why we praise me as God. Maybe we shouldn't run on blind faith. Maybe we should figure things out. And I think that's really cool. Because they're not just going, yeah, I'm God, worship me. They're saying, make sure you have a reason to. They're having, like America's having her followers question her rule and her holiness. even though that probably goes against her interests. Also, sealed tunnel. Very important tunnel. It is of the tunnel class, which is the type of cave that has upgrade materials. The more I use this, the more I realize it's actually kind of good. I feel bad for smack talking it before. Because it's actually good. Is it great? No, it takes a long time to build up. Which, in a fight, is not a good thing. Being slow in a fight generally doesn't work out too well. Unless you got big, chonky defenses. Which this armor set does not. But when you're at a range, it's great. Now, there are illusory walls and you can keep going. But I mostly just care about this. Smithing Stone Miner's Bell Bearing 2. Just like Rhyolicaria Crystal Tunnel, which let you buy 1s and 2s, this lets you buy 3s and 4s. As many as you want, as long as you have the money. Which is great. And this one doesn't even require you to kill a boss. It just requires you to get past, like, 2 enemies. And yeah, we got to Altus Plateau, so he's there. And you got these. I don't tend to give bell bearings from people, like NPCs, because on top of purchase, it gives you, like, purchase 1, purchase 2. I forget what it's called, but it gives you more options, and it's put, like, they're put between purchase and offer bell bearing, which means you have to scroll down more to put in more bell bearings, and they're usually worthless. It's like, if I wanted to get Syllabus's stuff, I would have got it while he was still alive. So there's no reason to. But yeah, we can now buy 3s and 4s. As many as we want. And that is very nice for us. And
Are you here for...
we still don't have any 5s, but almost all of the 5s are in deep root depths, which we're going to do that next time.
I took you no man to lay out your own.
I took you for dead. Okay. Well, we didn't need 3s or 4s. But hey, they're good to have, they're good to have. And yeah, I'm gonna keep valuing the staff over the club. Although upgrading the club does upgrade the frost buildup. We're on S tier intelligence scaling with this. That's really good. I thought we'd be on like A or B. Because it's just like the normal staff. But hey, good to know, good to know. Oh, that confused me for a second. Because I'm used to having the map of the underground area, which then shows you the underground area. It's like here we have the map of the underground, and so it shows the underground. And same here, but if you don't have the map for the underground, then it shows you the above world. And that really threw me for a loop. But here we're gonna get some things, some things that are gonna be nice, some things that are gonna be not so nice, but things we shall get. And you see me. Hello. Those are one of my favorite bosses in the game because of how precise they are. And I usually fight one at the beginning of the game, but I didn't on this run because we did not have enough of anything. But next time we're going to. We're gonna fight them, and it's gonna be wonderful. So, yeah.